What's up, data? So let's do a complete multi-time frame analysis of some of the GBP pairs, GBPAUD, GBPCAD, GBPCHF, and GBPNZD. Let's see what kind of trading opportunity currently we have in all these four GBP pairs, as they're giving us a significant trading opportunity. Now, before we discuss what it is, let's do a complete multi-time frame analysis. Then we'll jump onto this time frame to see how we can trade all those instruments. Now we'll be starting with first GBP and ZD. As usual, we'll first look at the bigger picture to see the general direction in the market, and then we'll jump onto lower time frame to see possible trading opportunity. Now GBP and ZD on the monthly perspective, you can see that it has created a monthly head and shoulder. This is a nice looking head and shoulder. It's a long-term bearish market. You can see that the price was creating a series of lower high and lower low and created a head and shoulder. That means that we could potentially see bigger move on GBP and ZD in this direction on the higher time frame perspective. If you look at this current monthly candle, we see that the price tested this important previous support zone as a resistance on the monthly, and we have seen primarily a very strong rejection to the downside. Currently the price is where monthly opening and closing together, and this is the almost end of the month. What I think that GBP and ZD could potentially drop further in this month. So with that in mind, let's look at the weekly time frame. Now this is the weekly chart that you can see there was a first initially in the first day of trading week a very strong aggressive drop on GBP and ZD. Now the price reached where the weekly support zone here just above this level of support. If you look at closely the previous week's candlestick pattern, you can see that there was a strong liquidity grab on the previous one, created this bearish engulfer. Now after this kind of candle, you can expect the price to drop a lot, and that is what happened. Now the price is in the weekly opening and closing zone. That means that we can potentially see another wave of drop on GBP and CD on the lower time frame. So monthly, weekly giving us a possible shorting opportunity on GBP pairs. Now let's look at daily price section. This is the last day of trading week, which is a typical hanging man in this important level of resistance zone. If we draw this level, this is a crucial level. As you can see on the daily perspective, there is a double top formation. The price has broken with this big bearish engulfer on the daily time frame, which acted as a resistance here, support here. Now with that breakdown, we see that GBP and ZD basically crossed this high, tested this previous resistance support here as a resistance, and now what we can expect, you see today as soon as market open, we see a retest of this weak zone on the daily time frame, and we see now a rejection. What I think that GBP and ZD, at least now we can expect a drop, as there is a long candle, long week. So let's find out where we can target our shorting opportunity on GBP and ZD. Now this could be at least a point where you can expect a GBP and ZD to drop. That can give us a really good trading opportunity on the lower time frame. Now this is the current candle, as you can see on GBP and ZD, respecting this 20 period moving average. After this big drop retracement, now the price was creating series of lower high in this important dynamic level of resistance. This is the daily high, and we see series of lower high. Currently this one is dropping, breaking down of this local support zone. Here you can see this couple of candles has created a level of support that can signaling us for possible shorting opportunity GBP and ZD from this zone with a high probability trade setup to take this move to the downside with our students. Now let's look at GBP CAD, how it is doing. Now, like the GBP NZD, GBP CAD also very strongly bearish. Now, if we look at firstly weekly perspective, there is a liquidity gap. You can see the previous week. Now, monthly in the same way, we see that weekly the previous candle on the weekly time frame has crossed the back-to-back 2 weeks high, and you can see a little bit of break out of this trend line to the upside on the lower time frame and then has broken down with this red candle. That's a sign that we could potentially see a couple of weekly candle to the downside, and as a result we have seen in the initially there was a big drop, and we can expect it to continue to drop. Now daily perspective, this is what happened on the last day of trading week. There was a doji, which is also a bearish one. I think that the price will respect the high of the daily doji and will continue to drop. That is giving us a really a shorting opportunity on the lower time frame. Now, 4 hour perspective, we see same kind of price action is being created. First of all, a strong drop. Now, slow retracement, possibility for drop again, and that is what we will be taking the advantage. As you can see, this candle is going to close after 1 hour 40 minutes from this time of recording, and what we could see that if we see this one is giving us a shorting opportunity, we'll consider short GBPCAD according to the rules of our strategies for this move to the downside with our students with a high probability trade setup. Now GBPAUD, you can see that exactly same kind of pattern. There is nothing different. It's also highly bearish, big move on the 4 hour time frame. This is retracement. Now the price is creating a price action that is also a bearish. What I think that we could potentially see same kind of price action, same kind of pattern, and as we will be taking only one GBP pairs, we will consider the one the best giving us possible shorting opportunity. We'll consider short GBP AUD based on our strategy rules of our strategies. Now let's look at GBP CHF. Now, as you can see in the past, GBP CHF was highly bearish. Now looks like that in among all of them, GBP NZD and GBP CHF looks like a bit strongly bearish than any other pairs. Now, which is representing in this candle. You see, this is the 4 hour time frame. We see GBP CHF has a multiple time liquidity grab, broke this local trend line, long-term local trend line here, and grab the liquidity, and then has this very strong drop. Now with that drop, now the price currently tested this bottom of this channel, this support here with this long candle with this 20 period moving average tested as a resistance, and we have seen GBP CHF has created this pattern here. Now this is the current 4 hour candle. We see that the price basically have currently broke this local trend line again on the lower time frame. If you look at 15 minutes, you'll see a false breakout to the upside, and then now the price is closing as a bearish engulfer. Now upon closing of this candle, if we see it is satisfying all the rules of our strategies, then we'll consider shorting GBP CHF as well with a high probability trade setup with our students. Now, if you find value in this analysis, then give a big thumbs up, smash it, and also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching. See you soon in my next analysis.